on my screen here, they are the professional standards learning code and the key area if you want to keep this training as part of your professional standards portfolio credit hours. Next, please. Our agenda today, we will introduce you formally to PrimeroEdge. Then we'll go over all the available resources to navigate PrimeroEdge, and we'll walk you through the special meal program application process together on PrimeroEdge. And we'll also provide time at the end of each section for you to work on your application. Please note that this training is specifically designed for the special meal program. So if you're not a sponsor of the special meal program, the content we'll cover today will not apply to you and may lead you to confusion or even wrong information for your NSLP or SBP application. So if you registered for this session by mistake, please feel free to exit this meeting. We highly recommend you to sign up for the NSLP training this Wednesday, July 9th instead, which will give you the correct guidance for your NSLP SBP program. Next, please. Our goals today, we want you to know where to find the training resources that we have created so you can navigate successfully your application on PrimeroEdge. And then by the end of this training session, you will have started the process to work on your special meal program applications in PE for school year 2025 and 2026. Most likely, you won't be able to submit your milk program application during this training session today because you probably need to review some documents with other personnel at your school. But if you can submit today, that's great. However, our goal is for you to make as much progress as you can during the training today.
Okay, so we've been talking about PrimeroEdge, but what exactly is it? So PrimeroEdge is a provider of school nutrition software for state agencies and districts across the country. And we are the first state agency in the country to implement the full suite of modules across all nutrition and food distribution programs. And we're moving to a new software system because our CNP web contract is ending. So during the last 2 years, we've been working closely with PrimeroEdge to build a system that better fits our state needs so that we are able to have this for you guys. And then we're also using this one-time federal funding to invest in this specific upgrade. This just shows a timeline of what the annual contract renewal is going to look like this year. So today on July 7th, you will get access to PrimeroEdge. And between July 7th and September 5th, you will establish your access. You're going to fill out the application and all necessary documentation. You're going to sign all of the agreements and make any necessary corrections and get the application in. And then by September 15th, that is the deadline to have the application approved.
So just a few housekeeping items for our meeting today. In this Zoom meeting, we have disabled the chat function, so you won't be able to type in the chat. However, if you would like to communicate with us, you can unmute your microphone, or you can also type in the Q&A section. You can find the Q&A function by clicking on the Q&A button on the bottom bar in your Zoom window. If the Q&A button is not showing on your bar, you can click on that More button, the 3-dot button, and then the Q&A function will be housed there. Either way, the Q&A chat box should show up for you, and you can type in that field that says type your questions here. You can type your questions or comments or whatever you need for us to know and for everyone to know in that chat box, in the Q&A box. Next, please. So we'll walk through the entire application together. So we want you to have your application open and fill out each question along with our presentation. And during the dedicated time that we give you to work on your section, we'll have a timer displayed so you know how many minutes you have to work on each section of the application. And then if everyone finishes early, we can save some time and move on. So if you finish early before the timer runs out, you can type done in the Q&A section. And then we'll also use this time to ask any questions you have related to the section. Next, please. Throughout this training, next one, please. Throughout this training, if you encounter any technical issues, such as you have issues logging in, or if you see any bugs on the system, please indicate so in the Q&A section as well. We'll direct you in and out of a help desk breakout room, one at a time for individual support. So please be patient and wait for your turn to be directed to that help desk breakout room. And a reminder that this help desk room is only for technical issues. Any program related questions should only be addressed in the main presentation room.
Okay, so we are going to now go ahead and log into PrimeroEdge. I'm just going to ask the moderator to put the link in the chat so that people can access PrimeroEdge. And then once you are successfully logged into PrimeroEdge, you can let us know in the Q&A box. And also, since we are going to be filling out this application, it would be helpful to also have CNP Web open so that you can view the information that you have submitted in the past, like last year, so that you can fill out the information for this year. And I will give you 2 minutes to log into PrimeroEdge. And again, just let us know when you are logged in. Minutes, we're going to move on now. But if you need help, again, just let us know in the Q&A and we'll have you go to a breakout room. Okay, so let's go over some NSLP Central resources. The first resource is the PrimeroEdge School Nutrition Application Manual. We have sent this out in the emails, and also the PrimeroEdge User Access Request Form that has also been sent out in emails. This QR code on the screen will take you directly to NSLP Central. And let me show you that. Okay, so once you are on NSLP Central, the software access to get access to PrimeroEdge is under Where to Begin. And you can see that it's right there, PrimeroEdge User Access Request Form. And this is what it will look like. So you just fill this out. Also on NSLP Central, under Annual Contract Renewal, you can find the manual. And this manual is going to be really important because it will take you through everything you need to know on how to fill out the application. So right here, PrimeroEdge Program Management. And this is a scribe. Where it says on this page, it's all hyperlinked, so you can go to that section faster. So if we wanted to go down to the special milk program, it'll take us straight there. But let me show you the beginning part. So this first section is just going to show you how to use the reference. We also placed the infographic that was sent out in the email here as well. And here is the user access request form as well. So you can find it in this manual or on NSLP Central. We also have, under each sections, we have videos. So if you click on it, it'll take you to that specific video. on that section of the application. This scribe is broken into the different tabs that you will see in PrimeroEdge, and we'll go over that. But you can see that there's the general info tab, the application sponsor tab, and under these tabs, it's going to be broken down even more. And then when you get to the application sites tab, again, it's going to be broken down even more. And some of these for special milk is not going to apply because you're not operating the National School Lunch Program or the school breakfast program. It's going to be the special milk program. And again, you'll see videos under the specific tab. In here, you'll also find the permanent agreement scribe. So you can use this to help you fill out that permanent agreement that you do need to sign this year. And yeah, so this is going to be where you're going to be, how you're going to fill out your application. So this will take you literally step by step on how to do it from start to finish. Okay.
Please keep in mind that PrimeroEdge is more rigid than CNP Web, so there's less room for flexibility than what you might have been used to in CNP Web. So it is very important that you will follow the steps that we have outlined for the application exactly as outlined in the manual. If you, for example, if you're mispressing a button or filling out a question, the system won't let you submit the application. So please make the best use of our training resources that we just showed you, and they're on NSLP Central. There are over 100 sponsors all learning the new program at the same time, so we won't be able to individually help every single sponsor with the process. So please bookmark the manual and follow each step as outlined, and also watch the training videos. However, if you encounter any system bugs or you see something that is not functioning the way that it is described in the manual, please let us know. You can reach out to your assigned specialist to report that. Next, please.
Alrighty, so we are now going to walk through how to do the application. So hopefully you have been able to sign in, and the first thing you'll see when you sign in is going to be this page. So this is your home page, and we are going to be working under program management, this module right here. So on the left-hand side is going to be your workspace. Mine might look a little different than yours. You might not have all of these modules, but you should have the program management module. On the left, you will see announcements and messages. Make sure you are paying attention to those and you are reading them. The three dots right here, the vertical three dots, if you click on that, you'll see that you can sign out and you can see which version of PrimeroEdge you are working in. This four square will show you the different modules that you have access to. If you click on the gear, it'll show you the system settings where you can change things in, and the home is going to bring you back to this home page. So that's just a little introduction of what PrimeroEdge looks like once you're in it. So if you click on program management, again, that's what we're going to be working under. You can see that it pulls up different module functions here on the left side of the screen. And some of these functions include the FFBP, reimbursement claims, CEP reports. So these are all different functions that are under the program management module. And if you click on the module function, it'll expand. And if you click it again, it will go back up. And oops. At the purple header at the top, you'll see this little hamburger icon. If you click on that, it will collapse that, but if you click on it again, it will pull up all of the module functions. So you can either have a larger screen or you can see all of the functions on your screen. And so in order to access your application, under sponsor applications right here on the left, you're going to click on applications. You'll see that the sponsor year will come up, and make sure that you are using the correct program year. So I'm going to click on 2025 to 2026. Oh, sorry. And then you will click on, so under program category, it says school nutrition. You'll click on this specific hyperlink, and then it'll take you to all of the different tabs that we are going to fill out. We're going to show you how to fill out.
That you are in the SMP, the Special Milk Program application, you will start on the General Info tab, which is this tab right here. In this tab, you'll review all the information just to make sure that all of the information we have here is correct. The address info box is displayed on the left side of the screen, and it includes the physical and the correspondence addresses. So look over this information, make sure that the physical address matches your main street address. We ask for this physical location address for when we need to make a visit and when we need to go on site and observe your operations. Below the physical address is the correspondence address. This is the location where any correspondence from our office should be mailed to. We ask for this correspondence address because many site physical addresses cannot receive mails, and you might have a PO box instead. There are times when our office needs to send out items to the sponsors, like the Justice for All posters. We must ensure that the sponsors can receive it. Note that the physical and the correspondence addresses can be the same, but they don't always have to be the same. So look through this information. If any changes need to be made to this general tab info, you can click on the Update My Info button right here. So now you can see that you can edit the fields. On the right-hand side is a sponsor information box. All the information in this section has already been filled out by our office. It includes information such as the sponsor type, tax status, congressional districts, etc. Note that you probably will see a bunch of numbers on my screens right here. They are just sample numbers for demonstration purposes, so please don't copy them into your actual applications because these are fake numbers. I want to point out this field, sponsor admin field. This person should be the person with the administrative responsibility for the special milk programs. So most likely it'll be the food service director in your school. We have already filled out this sponsor admin for you, but if this sponsor admin is incorrect, you can change that sponsor admin by clicking on this 3-dot button right here. And then in the lookup window, you can see you can look for the sponsor admin. Please note that the sponsor admin needs to be a registered user in PrimeroEdge to be added. If he or she isn't already registered in the system, you'll need to complete the user access request form that Isabella showed you earlier in this presentation. And then once we get that request from you, our office will create the user access and you can return to this application to update the sponsor admin information. Also note that I'm in the training testing side, so you will see the yellow banner, but you'll be entering all your information in the real life site. the federal EIN number right here. This is your federal tax information number, which you will find under tax documentations. The number you currently see in your application is the number our office has on file for you. So please check with your organization to make sure that the federal EIN number we have on file for you is correct. And if it's wrong, you can update in this field. You don't have to worry about state EIN, DBA vendor name, and grant ID. So these 3 lines, you don't have to worry about it. For this field, vendor name / ID, this is important. You should not make any changes to this field. If changes are made in the system for these number, it could result in you not receiving your reimbursement. So if you accidentally make a change to this number, or if you see any changes that need to be made to this number, please contact your assigned specialist to let them know, and we'll change it manually. Just curious, can you still see my screen? Okay, perfect. So once you finish updating any information in this field, if you need to, you can click the Submit button here. The status will then change to Update Pending here, and then there's a green banner that says your update has been submitted for approval. So this indicates that the changes you made have been submitted to our office for approval. As you scroll down, this section, Allow Program Participation, is only editable by us. So you'll see what program you're participating in, which is the special meal program. And then you also see your assigned specialists and their contacts. The approval level officials lets you know who at our office will be approving your application. And then at the bottom of this tab, there is the discontinue application. You should only be using this section if you want to discontinue program participation for the school year. So if you fill it out and you click submit, you say that you want to discontinue, you will not be able to participate in any programs for the remainder of the school year. So please do not fill out this section by mistake. I won't discontinue, so I will hit cancel. Okay. And now we'll give you some time to work on this tab. So I will give you 5 minutes to work on the general info tab. I have the notes that I covered here on this slide, so you can refer to it if you forget as you go through your general info information. Again, when you finish reviewing or updating your information, you can type done in the chat. So it's 5 minutes. If you still need more time, you can finish this section on your own, and I will move on to the next section, Application Sponsor tab. Okay, so the Application Sponsor tab is this tab right next to the General Info tab. So you'll click on it. I will then cover the first 2 sections in this tab, the District Program Participation and Procedural Details. So under the District Program Participation, you should check the program that you will participate in, which is the Special Meal Program. And then for the start date and the end date, the dates are already pre-auto populated here. The system already pre-auto populated. So the start date is July 1st, 2025, and end date is June 30th, 2026. Please do not change the date here to reflect your actual start date and end date. Leave the dates as is, don't touch it. The reason is because the program eligibility is based on your contract period, which are those pre-filled dates. This is why you have to renew your contract with us annually. Later in the application, you will have another section to actually indicate which months you plan to participate in the program. In the procedural details section, the first two questions in this section ask whether you work with a food service management company or FSMC, or if you work with a vendor. FSMC or vendor means that another company contract with you and they will prep the whole complete meal for you rather than just giving you a food item such as milk. Based on everyone's last year application in CNP Web, none of the special milk sponsors we have during this meeting works with a SFMC or a vendor. Because of this, I won't go over the details that these two questions entail during this training. So if you still don't work with a FSMC or a vendor for school year 2025-2026, which is the application year you're filling out right now, please go ahead and mark no on these two questions, question 1 and 2. If you do work with a FSMC or if you work with a vendor and need to mark yes on these two questions, please let me know in the chat and I can show you the instruction on how to fill these questions out in the manual. Next questions. Will snack meals be purchased from another sponsor? If you purchase meals from a sponsor, click yes. And then if you select yes, you will have to select the sponsor that you buy the meals from this drop-down list. So just pick a random one if you do purchase meal from another sponsor. Sorry, not pick a random one. Pick the one that you purchase meals from. For me, I'm just picking a random one. And then you have to upload the contract that you have with them by clicking on this select button. And then when you click on the select button, you can upload the contract so our office can take a look at. If you don't purchase meals from another sponsor, just simply click no. The next question, will meal snacks be sold to another sponsor? Same drill. If you don't sell your snacks to another sponsor, click no. But if you do, click yes, and then pick from the drop-down list what sponsor you'll sell your snacks to, or meals to. And then last question in this section, do you have a wellness policy? If you select no, it means that you currently don't have a wellness policy, then you have to type in this box right here on why a wellness policy is not in place. But if you do have a wellness policy in place, which is what you should do, you click yes, and then you describe in this box how you will publicly post your wellness policy for the public to know, and then also include in here the website URL where your policy is currently posted. And then we also want to see your wellness policy copy, so please also click on the select button and then upload your wellness policy to PrimeroEdge. And as you can see on my screen here, at the bottom of the page, there's the save button that you can click anytime during your application process to save all the hard work that you put into this application. So we recommend that you save frequently to not lose your work. And I will give you a few minutes to work on the district program participation and the procedural details section.
But yes, I can answer the wellness policy in the chat. It's required for schools. So just an FYI, if you are a camp, it most likely does not apply to you. But yeah, all schools are required to have a wellness policy in the state of Utah. And so will you, the two of you that, yeah, if you were a camp, go ahead and put NA. That works great.
Okay, that is time for this section. I hope that you finished this section. We'll move on to the next section, which is the student eligibility and qualifying details, which is the section right here. So almost all of the questions in these two sections will ask you about student eligibility. These questions only apply to special milk sponsors that are pricing with free milk option, who are required to collect the student eligibility. So these two questions won't apply to sponsors who are non-pricing or sponsors that are pricing with no free milk. Based on your applications last year in CNP Web, we didn't have any sponsors that are pricing with free milk option. So because of this, if you still have the same pricing method as last year, these two sections, student eligibility and qualifying details, won't really apply to any of you for the next school year. So if, sorry, move backward. So if you want, please just type in NA in questions 6 and 7, which ask about direct certification or what program you use to track for your free reduced application. So please go ahead and put NA here. And then question number 8, if you will use flexibility to apply for reduced determinations as the date they were received, please click no. If you want to change your pricing method to pricing with free milk option this year and you need to mark yes to these student eligibility questions, please let me know in the chat and I can show you the part of the manual to fill them out. Moving on to the qualifying details, same with the above section. So please click no to all questions 9 to 11, which ask about free and reduced applications. The last question about seamless summer. Since only schools that participate in the National School Lunch Program can participate in the SSO, Special Milk Program sponsors cannot participate in the SSO. So if you only participate in the Special Milk Program, please go ahead and click no on this question as well. And as you see, when I click on this no button, another question will pop up. Do you want to be pre-approved to operate emergency feeding sites during unanticipated school closures or emergencies? Marking yes will pre-approve you to operate during emergency. You can also choose no if you don't want to be pre-approved. So either way. Okay, we'll move on to the next section, which is annual training. So first question in the annual training, has the director successfully passed an approved exam to be a certified food manager? This question should be answered yes. All food service directors are required to take and pass an approved exam to be a certified food safety manager. Once you select yes, you enter the issue date and expiration date here for your certification. So in Utah, the exam is only good for 3 years. The system will auto-populate the expiration date as 5 years. So make sure that the expiration date is 3 years. So you need to manually change that expiration date to 3 years. So for example, my issue date is January 1st, 2025. You can see that expiration. Okay, sorry if it has been small. I just zoom in so you can see better. The expiration date just got pre-filled by the system for January 1st, 2030, which is 5 years after. So remember to manually change that date. So 3 years after 2025 is 2028, for my example. If you select no to this question, the system will then prompt you to schedule a food safety certification class. So please go schedule one class near you. Once you complete that exam, you can come back to this application here and then change it to yes, and then fill out the certification details, the issue date and the expiration date. Next question about the food safety program in accordance with HACCP principles and in meeting with guidance issued by the USDA. If you don't have one that is compliance with the USDA guidance, you can click no, and then you'll have to click the select button to upload a file that provides the details about your food safety protocol. Our office will need to see this document. If you answer yes to this question, this following question will show up. Has your food safety manager reviewed your district food safety program in the current year to update any changes in your facility or processes? This is a requirement. If the food safety program has been reviewed, please click yes. If the safety program hasn't been reviewed, click no, and then you need to enter the estimated date that the document will be reviewed by your organization. Okay, and we'll move on to the last section in the application sponsor tab, which is a sponsor comments and the certification section. So for this box, sponsor comments, if you have any comments about your sponsor application, you can enter your comments in this box. It's not required, so you can leave it blank. And then when you scroll down, you'll see this certification section, this certification box. So you need to check that box to certify that you have input the right, all the true and the correct information to the best of your knowledge in this tab. And then it's also to certify that you are agreeing to comply with all the laws and regulations under the child nutrition programs. So when you click on this certify box, if there are any errors or missing information in this whole tab, the system will not let you certify. So as you can see here on my pop-up box, all data highlighted in red must be answered in order to submit. So you need to scroll back up and fix all the questions that are highlighted in red in order to move on. So let's see, it looks like I need to fix this question. And then this question is also in red. So then once I fix those questions that are in red, in the red box, I can click on the certification box here. So I'm going to, after I can click on this button, I'm going to show you what the system would look like when you click on this ready to submit button. This is just a preview so you know what to expect when you're ready. For now, you can click save instead of ready to submit because you probably won't have everything ready and you probably don't have everything uploaded to this tab yet. But if you already have everything filled out correctly and you have all the documents needed uploaded to this document, you can hit that ready to submit button. Once I click on this ready to submit button, the system is taking a little bit of time, so. Okay, the system is now indicating that this application sponsor tab status has changed to ready to submit status, which tells you that this tab is now completed. Okay.
Okay, so we were just on application sponsors tab. We're going to move on to application sites tab. First thing you'll see is status and site. Status should be all, and site. Most of you will only have one option to select, but if you have multiple sites, then you're just going to click on the first one. So here we'll click on the only site that we can, which is Madeline Choir School. And before you click apply, on the right-hand side, there's going to be primary contact, phone, email, and address. Please double check that this information is correct. So definitely make sure that the address is correct. If there is something that is not correct in this box, I will show you later where we can make some corrections to that. Okay, so then once you have checked this information, you can click apply. And it'll take you to the application site tab. So we're gonna go over the primary site contact details, annual training and participation details, and then I'll give you some time to fill it out. The first question is, what programs will the site participate in? You will click the special milk program because that is what you will be participating in. And for the primary site contact details, you'll enter the contact information for the individual site. So it should be someone who works at that specific site, and you'll enter their first name, last name, their job title, their phone, and email address. Annual training, we already had this question. It does ask for it again, but this is site specific. So has the manager successfully passed an approved exam to be a certified food safety manager? If you click yes, you'll get the same questions. You'll have to put in the issue date and the expiration date, and it'll ask how many people at that site, remember, again, this is site specific, are certified. If you click no, you'll end up getting the same yellow box that is going to make you schedule a class near you. And once you have that certification, you can reopen the application and put in the details of when it was issued and when it expires. And again, just as a reminder that the certification is going to automatically populate for 5 years. So let me show you. Let's say I took it on June 30th, 2025. It'll say that it expires June 30th, 2030. But in Utah, the certification is only good for 3 years. So make sure that you are going in and manually changing the expiration date to 3 years so that it doesn't go to 5. And then if you click yes, this question will pop up. So how many people at the site are certified? You'll enter that number. We'll just do 1 for example. And then for participation details, question 1 is going to ask, what grades will the site serve? So you can click on all the grades that the specific site serves. So we'll just do grades 1, 2, 3, and 4, for example. The next question is going to be, is the site serving milk a nonprofit summer camp? We'll click no for the sponsor, but if you are a summer camp, you will click yes. Question 3, what is the kitchen type? And you'll select from this drop-down menu what your kitchen type is. So for site prep, that's going to be meals or milk that are prepared on site. So for example, I'll just click on this one. Satellite bulk is the on-site kitchen does no food preparation. And satellite pre-pack, the on-site kitchen does no food preparation. Meals are prepped at a different location and then served on site. Most of you are going to be site prep. For question 4, it asks, where will this site claim meals? And the only option here is Madeline Choir School. But if you have multiple sites, they will be in the drop down, and you'll select the specific site that will be claiming the meals. Okay, so question number 5 will not apply to special milk sponsors because you do not claim meals. This is asking for lunches. So you will just leave this as is. So there's no need to enter any information for this question number 5. Okay. So then the last question here is question number 6. Select the SMP method to be used. So you'll click from the drop-down menu. And your options are pricing with free milk, pricing with no free milk, or non-pricing. And most of you will click on non-pricing. For this example, I will be doing non-pricing. So that is the 3 sections. I am going to give you 5 minutes to fill out the primary site contact details, the annual training, and the participation details. Alrighty, so that is time. We're going to move on to the next section. Okay, so for the next section, we're under the meal service details. Question 7 will ask, what months will the site serve special milk? You'll click on all of the months that you will be serving milk. We'll just do this, or if you select all of the months will be selected, and you can just go and unclick the months that you're not serving milk if that is easier. 7B will ask what days of the week will the site serve special milk. If you click on select weekdays, all of the weekdays will be clicked, and Saturday and Sunday will not be clicked. So you can do that just to save some time. Question 7C is going to ask what time will special milk be served at the site, and you'll have to put in the start time and the end time. So let's just do 11:30, for example, to 12. You can type it in, or if you click on this little clock, you can click on the specific time. Question 7D is going to ask about the counting procedure. You'll click from the drop-down menu, the counting procedure that you use. So for example, here I'll do coded ID card. And as for coding procedure, again, you'll click from the drop-down menu and click on the one that best describes. If you don't have a coding procedure, you can click on no code. The next question, 7F, will ask about the payment method. Again, from the drop-down menu, you will either do, most of you will do non-pricing. There is one sponsor who will have to click the other option. And then the last question for question 7 is 7G, the POS terminal. So that stands for Point of Service Terminal. You're going to enter the total number of point of service terminals for special milk that there are at the site. So point of service terminal refers to the number of areas where program staff are going to identify and verify that students are receiving special milk. So a point of service terminal can either be an electronic computer system or a paper system like a tally sheet. So you'll just enter how many there are. And then for question 8, what is the attendance factor for the site? Here you'll have to get this number either from the front office staff, but you can use the national attendance factor, which is 93%. So you can either get that number from your office or you can just do 93%. Okay, so, and if any of this information was not correct for the primary contact phone, email, especially the address, you can scroll to where it says SFA/sponsored comments, and you can type in the correct information in here. So I will give you some time to work on the meal service details. I'll give you about 4 minutes. So now that you have filled out this section, there's another certification box that you do need to click off, and that will certify your information. So it indicates that you agree to comply with all the state and federal laws and regulations that govern the child nutrition programs. So you will click on here, and you can save your application and come back to it later if you are missing information. I'm going to click on here, ready to submit. Okay, so you can see the application is ready to submit. I didn't have any corrections to make. So if you don't have corrections to make, that's what will show up, and it'll show up at the top as well. The application is ready to submit. As Nee explained, if there are corrections that need to be made, for example, you didn't answer question 3, a red box will appear and it won't let you move forward until that is corrected. Okay, so we are going to move on to the next tab, and that is going to be the Documents tab. So it's right next to the Applications Sites tab. And I'm actually going to go to a different application to show you what it will look like for you. Okay, so when you click on the Documents tab, this is what you should see. The title, Contract Documents, and this table down here. So just so you know, not everyone is going to have the same documents to upload. But when you are trying to upload a document, you'll click on here, this purple button that says Add New Record. And it'll ask for the title, and it'll make you type in a title. So let's do permanent agreement. Whoops. So it should, where it says program association, you should click on special milk. I'm not sure why it's not coming up on here, but you'll want to click on special milk. And then when you click browse, this is where you can find the specific document to upload. Let's see. Let's just do random one. And if you accidentally upload the wrong document, you can remove it by clicking this little X remove button right here. But if that is the correct document that you want to upload, I'm just using this as an example, then you can click insert to upload that document. Just know that there is no way to delete a record once you have inserted an upload. So make sure you are only inserting the documents that you're required to complete and the ones that you do want to upload. And once you click on the insert button, you'll see a green box that says sponsored document has been saved successfully, and a green banner at the top. Sponsored document has been saved successfully. So you're going to insert all of your required contract documents in the same way. You'll click on Add New Record. You'll type in the title of the document, and then click off Special Milk Program here. It should pop up. It's not.
Once you are in the Documents tab and upload your documents, once you submitted the document, you won't be able to delete them. So yeah, even though there was a remove button here, if you click on it, it still shows the status as updated, submitted. So don't upload a document here by accident. Am I showing my screen? Yes. Okay.
Yes, you're good.
Awesome. And for the documents that you will need are the permanent agreement that all of you will have to submit, the free reduced price policy, and then if you are a non-pricing sponsor, then you also need to upload the non-pricing policy. And I believe Isabella was going to show you what they look like on NSLP Central. The permanent agreement first, which everyone needs to have a new signature this year. So on the the manual for the PrimeroEdge application, you scroll down to the Documents tab, and in here you'll see the steps on how you can complete the permanent agreement. So please take a look at this manual, and you'll know how to fill out the permanent agreement, and you'll need to get the signature from the executive contact. So most likely you won't be able to upload this document right now, and you'll need to wait, but that's okay.
I didn't go over the view/edit column right here, but you can view and edit using the pencil icon on the right hand side over here. But again, just as a reminder, you can't delete whatever you have uploaded. Okay, so as far as the required documents, we will go back to NSLP Central. And under the annual contract renewal, so you went over the permanent agreement. And just as a reminder, there is a scribe that is within the manual, the PrimeroEdge program manual, on how to fill out the permanent agreement. The other required documents are going to be the free and reduced price policy and the non-pricing policy if that applies to you. So you can find these right here. So free and reduced price policy 2026. And if you can't find it, for some reason here, you can always Control F and find it that way. So you can find it by using Control F. So permanent agreement, free reduced price policy, and the non-pricing policy. So you'll fill this out and then upload it to the Documents tab. And if the non-pricing policy applies to you, you will also fill it out and upload it to the Documents tab. Okay, so we can move on to the Correspondence tab. Oh, sorry, the Certify and Submit tab.
So I move on to the Certify Submit tab. I'm just going to go over this tab just to show you what the system would look like. You won't be submitting your full application here yet, since you likely haven't completed all the required information in the previous tabs. And also, you most likely don't have all the documents that you need in the Documents tab. So So for now, when you're in the Certify Submit tab, you're just going to watch me go over this tab without you actually clicking and submitting the whole application. Because once you certify and submit your whole application, you won't be able to make changes without contacting your assigned specialist. So make sure everything is accurate and complete before you take that final step. So you can see on the top of my screen here, there's an error message. This error message will appear when the application sponsor tab and the application site tab are not in ready to submit status yet. It indicates what is missing or needs to be in the ready to submit status before the whole application can be certified and submit. So if this banner pops up, you know you need to go back to complete. So for example, for me, my application sponsor tab was still in progress status. So I need to go back there and fix anything that was missing. Looks like I just didn't submit it to ready to submit. So I would just click the certify, change this again to fix out the things that are missing in the red box, and then click ready to submit. Okay, so now my status is ready to submit in the application sponsor tab. In the application site tab, the site status is also ready to submit. So that means both of these tabs are complete. The certify submit tab will clear out that error message, as you can see, and then I will click on this I certify my application is accurate and true. And then the submit button will appear and I can submit everything, the whole package, to the state agency. And this banner will show, fantastic, your application has been successfully submitted. So once you have that message appear, that means our office, the ball is now in our court, and we'll look over your application to approve it.
Okay, so we were just in Certify Submit. We'll move to the Correspondence tab. Okay, so you can see that we actually sent a message just as a test. So it'll appear under in this table right here. You can see who it was submitted by and when it was submitted. If you click on messages, you can send messages as well, but you can also see more information on who sent something, when, what time, etc. And that's pretty much it. If you want to contact us, you can also just contact us via email or phone. This is just another way to reach out. But you don't have to do it that way. Okay, so I will show you how to reopen an application, but you won't see this function right now just because you you need to submit your application first, and our office has to approve that application. I'm just going to go over the function now so you're aware of, excuse me, of so you're aware of the function for later use. Okay, so we will click on the application, and this is what will pop up. In the general info tab, it'll say reopen application, and there's a box that's going to make you type the reopening reason. I'm just going to write test in it for now. And then you will click on the reopen button. Once you click on that button, it will let you make changes to your application. Let's see. So, for example, if you needed to make a change in the application sponsor tab, let's say this date was wrong, it should be sorry. Oops. Let's say you didn't take it on the first, it was the second. You can change that, or any other edit that you need to make, you can make sure that it's ready to submit. You click on certification on the certification box, then click on ready to submit. Or if you needed to make a change to something on the site sheet, you click on the site. Apologize, this is taking a while to load. Let's say you're no longer serving milk in May. So you unclick May. Again, you want to make sure that you're certifying and it's in ready to submit. Okay. And then you can go to certify and submit to submit your application once again, and make sure that all of these tabs, this is going to take a while to load, but they all need to be, sorry, not the general, but they all need to be in ready to submit before you click on the certify/submit tab. So that one's good. That one's good. So let's see if that'll work. Okay, so you are submitting the application, and that is how you reopen and you submit your application. And that concludes the presentation. Are there any questions that we haven't answered so far?
Looks like